and start streaming. Hello, welcome to the Lager Logs. We are streaming Escape from Monkey Island, the finale? High pitched tone. I'm Stu. Joining me across the internet is Ken.
Let's bow to the master of monkey combat, Stewarts of Land of the Lagerlogs, who spent 19 and a half days with his Wake of Death DVD cover solving the mystery of monkey combat, and that's the real guide key. You're not done. Don't throw it away.
Exactly.
Don't you dare throw it away. Don't you dare, here, doggo, have a chewable toy.
Paper aeroplane, just throw it out the window.
Because you still got one bout left. I emphasize one, not 6 monkeys this time, just to make it harder. Last time it was 3. No, it's 1. Because I kind of looked ahead, full disclosure, what's going on here, and we don't have that much left. So, but it's a pleasure to be here, Stuart, with my buddy, watching my buddy play a game I don't want to play. But I've been happy as Larry to have watched it, and looking forward to the conclusion.
Yes, me too, bud. Speaking of bud, which I guess we could just call that slang for beer. I have a beer, and I'm going to open that right now. We are going for, let's see if I can get a bigger. Let's go back to the old Windows desktop.
Welcome to Windows 3.1.
Yes, Stuart's drinky
Windows
cam.
97.
So this is a Stewarts 80 Shilling from Stewart Brewing, surprisingly. I went for this classic Scottish heavy 80 Shilling, which is probably maybe the closest thing to maybe grog you can get. Just a really old traditional ale.
I've asked this before, but I've already forgotten. Let's see if it works. It does. Have we figured out what grog is, Stuart? Your toy has broken, by the way. It's supposed to be magnetic.
I know. Did you see the cap just flew away?
Yep.
There you go. I picked it up.
Well, still works. That's what you get when you buy from China.
Okay. Put that beside all my other bottle caps.
But yeah, did we figure out what grog was, or it could be any number of things?
Yeah, I just think the next thing when I hear grog, my next comparison in my head is swill.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I don't know. I mean, look at this. This is a very dark brown ale.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a pint of Guinness on camera.
That's all I know. All the references I have.
Yeah, but it's kind of got a ruby red on this side and quite a lot of sediment. So it's like it's got things floating inside it.
Ugh.
Yeah, lovely. Cheers.
Little bits of grizzle.
Oh, character, flavor.
So, I want to commend Stewart's Brewing for being very clever with the title of that brew, Stewarts.
Yeah, they have their line, their series. There's also Stewart's Lager. I remember buying that at Edinburgh Playhouse, and I was trying to explain to my kids, and it's like, whose lager is this? And it would just
this guy's.
Yeah, and they were just like, oh, we're not here to see you, Dad. We're here to see someone else. And everyone watching is here to see some goddamn Monkey Island. So,
thank you to anyone who has watched. But bear in mind that we do this for the hang and also for the enlightenment, I suppose, because this game I had not played through. I tried. I stopped because I'm an old man. I don't understand all timing controls. And let's do it entertain me instead. So, but if you have followed us, thank you very much. It's been a joy to have some views alongside the hang, and the hang is what I look forward to.
Yeah, it's a perfect chance to catch up. And also, warning, I might have to abruptly run away midstream because between 7 and 10 o'clock, we're getting a parcel from Amazon.
They're not messing around all hours of the day.
Yes.
Well, when you hear the dog barking, then you know it's time to run. So the dog doesn't chew up the Amazon delivery person.
Exactly.
So what's left to do here? Well, not a whole hell of a lot, but we have still unattended business with one character, and the plot is gonna thicken once. So what do you remember in terms of how many items have you thrown? I'm talking about Herman Toothrot. How many
Yeah.
items have you thrown at him? Coconut and milk bottle?
Yes.
So the
Definitely
third
on the
one
last
is
stream.
the accordion, and that should be it.
Mm-hmm.
So do you reckon, if you remember how the bug kind of made you do it, do you need to talk to him first and then throw the accordion, or is it just straight on throw the accordion at him?
Yeah, I think we just need to walk into camp and just
Right.
throw it at him. Not even, hi, hello, how are you?
Yeah.
I am now fluent in the skill of monkey combat. No, just deck him with the accordion.
But there's one of two things here, and we're safe and secure because we have a save. So there's one or two things. If it does require a slight dip into the dialogue tree, that's your second option. Right? Because I remember that you had to ask him. So what do you remember? Exit the dialogue tree, chuck the thing at him. So it's either or, but at least it's only a walk from the monkey village to wherever Herman is on the map, in case you don't do it correctly.
Yeah.
I.e. the bug is kind of messing with you at the same time as well.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go back via the volcano or the lava field.
He won't fast travel by himself.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the accordion, and now he's holding it. Oh, actually no, let's.
Here's a little something I learned from my travels.
It says HT on it. So if you weren't sure before.
That is Herman's.
Okay, let's play accordion, see what happens.
I don't play the accordion.
I don't play the accordion. He hasn't learned anything crossing all the seas. He's a mighty pirate. He has no time for this shenanigans. Learning things.
Okay.
It kind of sucks that you can't fast travel. Don't like this. Because you were on the map. If you're on the map, you should be able to fast travel as...
Just on the wrong side of it. And
as much as you goddamn please.
There's also that I can't point and click. I have to actually move my character across the map.
Yeah, one of the reasons I'm finding this to be a little counterproductive. This, at the time, high technological update of the adventure game formula.
Visit campsite.
There he is, just staring into the void.
It's showtime.
So don't. You can afford a walk across the map in case this doesn't go as it should. You can afford one more walk across the map. So just do what you feel like first.
Yeah,
throw it or talk to him. I have a feeling you should talk to him a little bit first, but I might be so wrong because I detested the way this bug manifested itself. So
exactly. I kind of wanted just to default to chucking it to him, but it looks like we're using the term wonk. Use accordion to wonk Herman Toothrot.
Is that English slang? You think you have heard of it?
No, I'm not sure if it's like one of these. Is that like an onomatopoeia that they use in like the Batman comics where it's like pow, bam, wonk,
whack, boko.
Yeah. Okay, let's be careful how we say this. Let's wonk Herman.
Ugh. So the dialogue will determine. Yeah. Okay. So this might be right then. So now there should be exposition dialogue. I will actually we will switch screens at some point here. And I think you did it right, because otherwise it would have been like,
Exactly.
Yeah, so here's exposition and twists in the stories to it. I can't read everything from my screen here, but that's okay. I know kind of the twist of it all in a cutscene. Well, mostly in a cutscene. That has no subtitles here on my screen, so if I size down my window, I get some subtitles. Okay.
Is this gonna take a while? I'm in kind of a hurry.
Yeah, it's exposition time, Guybrush. You sit down and listen.
Many stories. It began some 20 years ago in a bar on the other side of the world. I had been lured out of my peaceful retirement in the Caribbean.
Yeah, Herman has always
Sailing regatta.
appeared on Monkey Island, and now we get some backstory because he remembers more than he did in Monkey Island 1 and 2.
Steeling myself for the race with several pitchers of grog. When I was joined at the bar by one of the other competitors, an unhappy Australian tycoon.
So he has met Ozzy Mandrill.
Ozzy Mandrill. No. Yes.
Looks like Frankenstein.
Neat little choice of animation for exposition rather than this full flashback in the regular escape animation style. That's a nice touch.
Yes, but that's not all. The next day, as I reached the race's halfway point,
Like it's not even a big ship; it's a little boat in this memory.
I found myself being rammed by another boat. Pushed into a it was none other than Ozzy.
Yeah, this is cute. It's one of the better stylish moments of. The prior cutscenes weren't that long either, so they just kind of got them over with.
Yeah.
So this is a screenshot from Curse from Monkey Island.
So it
Literally
is.
just used its art rather than redraw it.
I told him about the unbelievable lineage of the three-headed monkey.
Layering in a monkey. Three-headed monkey.
The voodoo talisman that could make mice out of men.
Remind me to never tell you a secret.
Strangely, the whirlpool didn't kill me. Instead, it dropped me and my
He's got a Pinocchio nose. On his way to having a Pinocchio nose, but he is telling the truth. I know that.
Where I came from. I took the name Herman Toothrot after the remaining letters on my accordion. H-T.
HT. Wait a minute. You're not telling me that you're really.
That's right.
Yes.
Real name is
Ratio.
Torquemada
Torquemada Marley.
Governor Marley. I mean, everyone knows that H.T. Marley died over 20 years ago off the coast of Australia in a boat race.
I remember that from watching the last part of the playthrough.
Oh, that's just wonderful. I finally rid myself of 20 years
So yes, that's the twist of this game.
Ah.
His family.
Mhm.
Somebody get me a coconut so I can go back to being blissfully ignorant.
It's like he had to get all the way back to his mark before it got out of the cutscene.
And you're supposed to get an item from Herman before you can progress. So let's see what happens when you talk to him now that the cutscene is over. Because he didn't give you anything, right?
Yeah.
Calling me that.
That's no way to talk, sir. We're gonna have to work together to defeat Ozzy and LeChuck.
LeChuck's involved too?
So clearly there's some, yeah. So cycle through this because you need a very important item to progress and not retrieve it. He has it. So it should be able to be done through the dialogue options here. So just exhaust all of them.
Governor of Melee Island.
Gadzooks! Where's my granddaughter?
She disappeared right after the election.
Whew, that's a relief.
Why?
Because of the one secret I didn't reveal to Ozzy before he tried to kill me.
Choose. Suppose
Real secret of Monkey Island?
we never find that out.
I'm talking about the secret of the fourth piece of the ultimate insult.
The one that had to do with the governorship of Melee Island? I was wondering about that. What is it?
It's
That
this,
looks like
yes.
the Melee Island gubernatorial
It's
seal.
another governational seal because the one we had in the beginning parts of the game is now on Melee Island and things like that. But this is important.
In case the original gets lost, the seal is the key to unlocking the dread power of the ultimate insult. Without it, it's just a funky-looking maraca. Now,
And
this is very important. Where is the other gubernatorial seal?
I guess it's with Elaine. She rarely lets it out of her sight.
That's good. As long as Ozzy and LeChuck don't find her, they'll never be able to make the ultimate.
yeah, if you can have your little video window there, I can read most of the dialogue.
It took a moment.
Yeah. Well, Stewart is flexible. He can move around the screen. Back on Melee Island. Are we looting?
Times free grog, my pockmarked fanny. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. Don't be looking at me, you mangy mongrel. I voted for Elaine, I did.
Well, I certainly didn't vote for that bilge rat, LeChuck.
Well, if none of us voted for him, then why is he the governor? And why are we being forced to build this colossal...
Not looting. They're building.
center of town?
Commemorative statue. Yeah, that's what newly elected leaders should do.
LeChuck has enslaved my
Erect a statue of themselves.
Good thing my grandfather isn't alive to see this. Why is he making them build that statue? What does that have to do with the ultimate insult? What's happened to Guybrush? What's that smell?
Oh, ex-Governor Marley. You're a hard woman to find, you know that?
Obviously.
Is that the
not
guy who
hard
was
enough.
dressed as Guybrush in the beginning of the game? Peg-Nose Pete.
A few questions they'd like to ask you.
Gee, you know, I'd like to, but I have to wash my hair for the next 7 years.
I really must insist. Like I said, as long as Ozzy and LeChuck don't find Elaine, the ultimate insult will never be completed.
Maybe we should come up with a backup plan.
So I think that's it, Stuart. I think you've got what you need here from Herman.
Okay, so we'll just out.
We haven't visited the Monkey Head, Stuart. That is where we're heading next.
So we have to go. No,
I don't know how you traverse it to get to the Monkey Head. I think it's
back
it's not-
across the lava field.
Like, I don't think we need to solve anything to be able to access it. I think
Yeah, I think we could just run there. Almost running with... Oh, I was going to say almost running with ease until I just ran right into this corner and got stuck. There we go.
in no other Monkey Island game it was this difficult to traverse.
No, we're not
No, we don't want to
no
do any monkey
chance.
combat. That was kind of a thing when you did the sword insults in the first game, when you actually did not want to encounter any pirate. You did, but you always had the option of like, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to do it, I don't want to fight. So it was that. There was that. Visit world famous giant monkey head. Yeah, well,
Oh, wow.
we were here. Do you remember back in the first game? It's not a solution now. How you opened the monkey head's mouth to enter into the catacombs where LeChuck's ship was.
Very
stationed.
vaguely, it was like a cotton bud, like an ear.
Yeah, giant Q-tip.
Yes, like,
That
Oh.
Guybrush fit into his pants, and there was even a cute little animation
look
where
at,
he like.
it looks as if it's still there. Look at the left
But-
ear.
Yes. I thought it was the right. The monkey's left. It's left here, but I thought in the original game it was right. So maybe someone has just left it there in another adventure. But anyway, what happens here? Well, it's not terribly difficult, but you need to get in. And there are two things to do here. You are going to have to equip the monkey head with headwear.
Okay.
Do you have headwear on you
Monkey head I've ever seen.
in your inventory?
We have what? We have a
So-
bronze. It's the only.
Yeah, it is headwear. So
Mhm.
need to equip the monkey with a little decorative headwear.
I've just
So-
realised on the far right side of the screen is the grave of Jojo Senior. Because that was it Jojo Junior we'd done Monkey Combat with.
I think so. Yes. So okay. So what are the options here then? Because this game always gives you plentiful options, like use bronze hat with broken Q-tip. That's not right. But I guess these are the 4 options. And if you're gonna give the monkey head a decorative piece of headwear, then I suppose that's the one.
No.
So we're gonna create a new ultimate insult in a very different fashion.
Now, if I can somehow manage to stick this huge head onto a golden man, I'll have a giant
And
ultimate insult.
somewhere along the line, I think this was said in dialogue that the bronze hat is part of the new ultimate insult we're gonna have to do in fewer parts, though, right? This we're gonna get into it, but not by using the Q-tip in the ear, so they don't repeat the puzzle. You are gonna have to pick his nose, I believe.
Yeah, just mentioned something about a latch.
So you're a small guy, so you can't jump up there. But do you have something that will reach?
Are we pecking the monkey's nose? That's like the MVT of this game, the most valuable tool.
Yeah, in the prior game it was a mallet.
Oh, we're not getting it back.
Curse of Monkey Island. You did or didn't?
It just disappeared. I was like caught on the nostril, and it just retracted into the nostril.
Okie dokie.
Goodbye, banana picker.
It's
got a little... Exactly. Let's have a... I won't pour one out, but...
Well, this game at least incorporated the fact that a lot of the inventory gets tossed between chapters, so they decrease your inventory. Because if you remember back in early chapters, when you could construct from various prosthetic parts, tons of random creatures, and you can actually do a ton of that crap, and actually stock up on your in your inventory various horrific creatures based on prosthesis and things like that. So, but those would have likely been tossed in some of the chapter changes, you know. So, although this wasn't, I'm not sure how much exposition was laid down, but this, you're in the ultimate insult too. You need to activate the machinery, and as this might look like the scene out of Airplane, where he scans all the knobs and meters, but it's not that complicated. You have received the steering stick already. You have a steering stick that you can enter into the machine.
That's the only thing I could imagine.
Well, do a little carousel, and look at perhaps
a milk bottle, coconut, accordion, the seal. Well, I can't imagine that.
Well,
bananas.
You can imagine it. You can imagine whatever you like to it. But
I don't imagine it plugging in and then like a joystick.
Well, there was a prominent slot to try items in. So you have 3 items that you sort of thought like maybe they'll fit into the prominent slot. So because that's where it's going.
The gubernatorial symbol here. Hey, it fits.
Of course it fits. Oh.
And here we go. Something big is going to happen now. So that was the creation of the second ultimate insult in the form of, well, you'll see. So are they playing rock, paper, scissors
They
now?
are.
Not even Monkey Kombat.
Like, why didn't we do that? Now they're doing Twister.
Maybe some of the monkeys there are not into the Monkey Kombat. They play other games. Monkey with the broken Q-tip. So it does play a part because it gets thrown, and they've gathered before their god, I suppose.
Are they all going to climb in like worker monkeys and?
It
So
does
like a big...
seem to suggest that they are part of the machine.
Oh, because it did mention that the controls are too small for man, and they're all working for
If you look
bananas.
at Guybrush, he's like holding over, covering his ears.
Get out of here before someone finds out what I did.
Relax there, son. We're going for a little ride.
Sure.
Pull that lever there, would you?
Ride? What do you mean by that?
We're taking this giant monkey robot to Melee Island to rescue my
We got a
grandson.
giant monkey robot on our hands, apparently, stuck in the ground.
Your memory back? Maybe I should hit you again.
It's trying to get loose, I suppose.
Becoming unearthed.
This is epic.
Was not expecting Monkey Island series to have like a
Monkey robot.
yeah.
As one review said, that Monkey Island has a hidden Gundam. So it's mecha style here. Act 3 plus, Guybrush kicks unusually large butt.
Written on surprisingly white parchment.
So that's a tradition in these games also. Also, Guybrush kicks butt. Here's another puzzle, actually. One of those timing puzzles, but it's apparently very simple. But it's the last sort of like do it in proper order and in proper time. So what you need to locate here is a plank. So and stick it in the small tower. So let's traverse the screen here when you can. Kind of want to get us past this and into the final monkey combat. It's coming up. This is essentially the next to last puzzle. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Property values thing?
If you wish to fulfill your destiny,
I think I muted my mic on stream, so hopefully they didn't hear that big sneeze.
So but yeah, it's all done on this screen. It's free things. It's definitely easier than the rock rolling puzzle, which I just can't imagine. How do you wrap your head around that? So you need to locate a plank. Can you even reach the plank that's on? Oh, well, there is. Oh, there is a plank on the ground. Okay.
Okay.
That needs to be put into a smaller tower because you're going to create some kind of springboard action here.
Okay.
So maybe the tower you can reach is the first one. That makes sense.
He's got that little delay to his walk.
It has indeed. Okay, so and
there is two more.
Now I don't know how much timing this requires of you, but the solution is that obviously you're gonna jump from that tower, use the plank to make a bounce and leap to the top of the main tower, and the puzzle is about deactivating the shell on top of the thing. But exactly how to do this and if it requires precise timing, I'm not too sure. So just play around, Stuart, and see what the thing does here. Or it does it by itself.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Because I thought like maybe you need to do something on the second tower. Once you reach that, you need to hit enter, boom, to get to the third one. But okay, fine. And here's a lever. You're going to have to deactivate the shell.
Mm-hmm.
Excessively large switch.
There's a very large switch sticking out of this shell. I'm not picking that up.
Are there no options to... Okay, now it's doing. So now you can see they're kind of speeding through the last part here in more cutscenes than before. To get us to the very last thing we shall do, Stuart. That you shall do. Using your Wake of Death Bible. So the ultimate insult is not working. So LeChuck can't rule the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Together with Ozymandias.
What in the name of Adam Smith's invisible hand is that?
That? Oh, that's nothing. Just a piece of junk I bought on my honeymoon.
Darn! The gubernatorial seal of Melee
Look at all those very square-looking characters. So, why would Elaine give them that? Does she have something in mind? He still has kind of Guybrush's wardrobe that he robbed the bank with. That kind of similar Guybrush wardrobe, but obviously no Guybrush mask this time around. The ultimate insult. Now he's insulted and he is pacified. Obedient. Right, so it does work. Because Elaine is crafty. You know that from prior games.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this is... she wouldn't give that away just all willy-nilly. Is LeChuck changing appearance as intermittently?
Because he's kind of like bloated zombie. Or bloated corpse. LeChuck.
New age of orderly consumerism. That's funny. Obviously, I'm thinking Ozymandias and LeChuck are gonna have a falling out. I don't think it seems like they're on the same page necessarily in terms of aims for ruling and conquering. Because Guybrush deactivated it. Yes. Go Elaine. So that is this is going to be the setting for your last duel of Monkey Kombat.
A final fight.
Yeah, of sorts. When I read the walkthrough through it, I got a little bit annoyed though. But I'll let you know because I don't want you to spend unnecessary time on this.
I see his opponent.
Honey, I'm home. Look out for the ultimate insult.
I don't know how you dimwits managed to sabotage my magnificent insult amplification apparatus.
Guybrush is crafty when all is said and done. He's a doofus. But he gets crap done.
Somehow, I always knew it would end like
After doing a boo-boo most of the time earlier in the games. So.
What the didgeridoo is that?
Let's get out
Well,
of here.
what the didgeridoo is that? I'm sure that's a common Australian expression.
Yeah. Didgeridoo.
Yeah. And we have Gundam LeChuck. Well, like a Daimajin LeChuck. If you remember, Daimajin was a stone god.
Exactly.
Is there like a walking statue of LeChuck on our front lawn?
No.
Ooh. Oh no.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
So what do we combat a giant LeChuck statue with? Well, we have a giant of our own.
Yes.
Let go of me, you rock-brained monstrosity!
You insignificant mortal flea! How dare you wield your pathetic voodoo magics against the immortal might?
I'm enjoying the wrap up here. A lot like sparing us like a finale with too much puzzles. You know, we've gone through Monkey Kombat. We deserve to watch a film now.
Exactly. Oh.
Well, eventually, I'll be wanting you to squish
didn't he want to use the pirate for labor? You know, why squish them all? They were supposed to.
Yes, anyone that opposes him.
Sure.
Come on, guys. We've got to get this giant
They were playing rock paper scissors.
Where's my granddaughter?
Actually, that's kind of a funny story.
Pray Paul,
Let me tell that story really quick.
find that ridiculous-looking contraption.
It was a present from H.T. Marley.
Mhm.
I'm in here, dear.
Well, what an unexpected family reunion. Too bad I have to ruin it by savaging your puny minds with the power of the ultimate insult.
Yeah,
Now what?
nice counter move.
Your undoing, evil one. Now is the time for Toad in the ancient prophecies of
Monkey
Now
combat.
is the time for
The last hurdle.
Yeah, at some point I suppose you can save. Obviously not. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe players who were in tune with the game, had played it this far, realized its mechanics and its way of going about things, didn't find this frustrating.
Oh.
But here's the things to it that if you pause it for a little bit, so this maybe you would have been able to figure this out. I'm speaking for me as dum here. But the thing is, your goal here is not to defeat LeChuck, because both of y'all will regain your banana powers. So there's no chance in hell either of you are gonna get 0 bananas.
Okay.
What you need to do, Stuart, because I want to save you the time. I don't want you to be in 1 hour of monkey combat. You need you need to force a draw. That's the goal. You need to force a draw, maybe a couple of times. I'm not sure, but that's the goal here. So you need to use your wits now and your Wake of Death cheat sheet and start causing a draw. So I'll leave you to it because I can't help you more than that.
Okay. So for us to do draws, we just have to match stances. So
that seems fair, yeah. So even if he does get a hit in or two, your energy won't deplete like 99% in one hit, you know.
Okay, so we would have to get from Gimpy Gibbon to Anxious Ape, and that was one instruction that I didn't have on my list.
Yeah, you were missing about 2 slots, I believe. So
Yes.
fine, you're gonna have to take a hit or two then. So.
Yeah. So.
But you have enough bananas. So does he. And I see Guybrush is regained 2 bananas immediately, even 3. So that's how they design it. There's no chance you're gonna get down to the red ones. So start forcing a draw, either one or several.
Okay. Right. So we're going from Gimpy Gibbon to Charging Chimps. Is AEO. My Amazon parcel is 6 stops away.
So let's see if he does anything, because so you need to do it a few times, not 20 times, but
okay.
This will annoy LeChuck. That's the main goal here. And just think about that for a while. How would you guess this? Like maybe they were so cruel that maybe players will spend 2 hours trying to get the bananas down to red and they can't do it, and then accidentally stumble upon, wait a minute, drawing gets him annoyed. Maybe he says something about it, but I didn't like reading that at all, despite. And I'm not sure it requires draws in a row. if this resets. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just a matter of drawing enough times, even if he hits you in between once or twice. So that's a draw. He didn't like that. He did a little thing with his finger.
Right, we just have to do
3 draws, apparently, by the way, is what it takes. And I think you've done 2. Or at least 1.
Oh, okay.
So just stick with it. It shouldn't be a long combat.
So I'll just do OE8 just to get us out of that stance.
As you can see, the meter refills every time. So
yeah, so we can't lose.
So that would suggest that like there's something else going on, but I just find that very like an odd solution. Force a draw.
Mm-hmm.
But 2000s, early 2000s gamers might not have seen that way at all. So that gets you a draw, right? Okay.
Yep.
And now he looks deflated, and here we go. So this might be the final thing we need to do. Well, that was possibly the final thing we need to do. I think it's all cutscenes from this point on.
Wow.
Not a super short cutscene a la Curse. Remember, that was like, you bury LeChuck, bye-bye. It was so quick. Ooh. That's cruel.
Talking about turning into red goo. And possibly destroying the ultimate insult along with it.
Some rather nifty epic imagery here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind the ambition behind the cutscenes. So now it's a matter of seeing some family reunion stuff here. And Jojo.
Guybrush,
Pink boy.
ever thank you for reuniting me with my granddaughter.
Well, for starters, you could put on some pants.
Consider it done.
Guybrush perhaps could get some shoes.
Please be quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been without shoes since he was dropped off on Monkey Island.
Well, why do you think I went all the way to Australia in the first place? For the cuisine?
Grandfather, please. I can't stand being the governor. It's no way for a pirate to live. Guybrush and I need to be on the open seas, waving our swords, swashing our buckles. We're too young to become career bureaucrats.
Well, all right. But you better come by.
So they're free to adventure for young lovers.
What's the worst that could happen?
Sure. Well, in the next game, whoa, Guybrush does a boo-boo. Does an unusually large boo-boo, Stuart.
Yeah, don't say.
Thank you, noble Jojo, for helping to make the seas
Can
once
spoil
again
that
safe
much.
for pirates.
Boo-boo. There will be boo-boo.
But now I must be going. Somewhere out there, my monkey brothers and I have a destiny.
Is it Jojo that's talking?
Where will you go?
Yeah.
I hear that Martha's Vineyard is nice this time of year. but first,
Martha's Vineyard is nice this time of year.
Timmy.
Farewell, everyone.
I suppose all the monkeys you met kind of joined up and became part of the Monkey Gundam.
Yeah.
They all had a designated spot.
I mean, he's a talking monkey. How creepy is that?
Okay, I think this is the last screen. And
Marching
don't
off into the
click,
sunset.
Don't click the when the credits start rolling, there is a thing at the end, I believe.
Ooh.
So we'll just watch for it or listen for it even. At the end of Monkey 1, you had one of these options as well. When Guybrush was going to say something profound, you had the option of saying that or something silly. I remember one of the options in Monkey 1 was that I can't believe they charge this much for computer games.
What do you think, Ken?
I like the fourth one. Nope.
Yeah.
And there we are.
And there we are.
So let's watch the credits, and then because I like doing these things, I put together a little something like a summarization of I guess my complaints, but actual view of after watching the game. So I'm going to read a little something after you and I watch the credits together.
Okay.
But perhaps if you like, you've played it, you watched it, you experienced it. How does it rank as a monkey game out of the four parts you've played now? Is it the least one?
Possibly. I really need to
you got through it, but clearly the tank controls were doing a number on you. Well, like turn, Guybrush, turn like a normal human being. Goddamn.
Yes, there were definite frustrations, and the definite first act of the game leaned heavy on nostalgia for when I was playing it, say, 24, 25 years ago.
Yes.
And yeah, it almost kind of has. It's kind of got like I have a soft spot for Escape from
Even
Monkey Island.
Sort of getting used to the pointing or clicking of the earlier games and the redesigned user interface for Curse. This one taking such a left turn because it tries to go with the times. That wasn't its downfall necessarily. How you control using stuff on stuff, or
it would be really hard to rank the Monkey Island games. Because it's almost as if you're choosing between your children.
Well, I have no problem saying it's the least of my, but I'm not. I disagree with some parts of it, but I'll get to my thing. So, would you want to play it through like again, or this is sort of like not yet anyway?
Yeah, I was going to say as soon as these credits end, let's go New Game Plus. Let's do a speed run. Let's go.
What was the speed run of this one? You always look those things up.
I think it was.
Because you can't speed run through Monkey Kombat just all willy nilly and super easy.
Yeah, it was definitely either they had two sets of scores, one for the PlayStation 2 and one for the PC. I believe the PC one was maybe 49 minutes, and the PlayStation 2
for the entire thing, including Kombat.
Yes. PlayStation 2 was maybe twice that length, but I think obviously there were restrictions. You probably couldn't skip cutscenes or skip through dialogue by hammering on buttons.
Yeah.
So that one was more restrained. But yeah, when I saw them doing Monkey Kombat, they were saving every step of the way, every maneuver, and if they done like one move wrong, quickly reload till they guessed. Like obviously, they must have been well aware of all what the combinations were, like ACE, EOA. They knew all these, and they were just trying each combination till they got it right. And when they got it wrong, reload, try the next one.
And maybe to speedrunners are that diligent that they might try it over and over. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even with these games. So they might just have that patience that, like, damn it, the Monkey Kombat tactic didn't work. I got like an hour and I wanted 50 minutes.
Yeah, and exactly. As you said, it's randomized with like Anxious Ape and Bob and Baboon. You don't know what 3 sets of letters, but obviously they're fully aware of each combination. They just had to go through the combinations till they got the right one, and I guess scribble it in, load, next battle. So
and hopefully they did it, morally and ethically. That they didn't submit an edit to the people who log speedruns. Hopefully they're good folks behind it.
Yeah, of course, I'm sure they are.
In the cast list, the actors did several little roles as well, including Guybrush himself, Dominic Amaro. He voiced Duck. There's a duck somewhere. He voiced the duck.
Fair.
And a monkey or two. And Earl Bowen did a couple of pirates here and there, like Pirate B, Pirate C, and things like that. They just filled the void in the cast list with the stars. Yeah, because Guybrush was kicked over the cliff here, so I'm wondering like if that's the thing in the credits. Like, guys.
Cuts to him falling.
But I don't remember what it was. I just remember someone hinted at stick around, whether it cuts to somewhere else or if you just see a piece of dialogue with Guybrush off screen.
Maybe.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's plentiful credits.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been around the same time, but I don't think it will be the same gag from Austin Powers when Will Ferrell is burnt up.
Oh, yeah, still there.
Oh my God, I'm badly burnt. I'm still alive. Then Dr. Evil sends someone down to shoot him. You shot me. Why did you do that? So I'm thinking like, guys, I'm alive. I'm barely hanging on. I might die. I'm not hearing it, obviously, but I can just imagine the wonderful Monkey Island music and the the flute-infused Caribbean piratey theme that drives this game so wonderful, wonderfully, including to the point where Old Man Kennedy bought himself a ringtone. Curse of Monkey Island ringtone, but it's the same theme. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Well, that's is it counter effective, because it would start playing and he's like, oh, I've got to listen to this all the way through, and then you missed a phone call.
Yeah, I get about one phone call every 100 years, so I missed a special one.
California.
Yep. Actors based out of Los Angeles, presumably.
The Grim Fandango team, the Obi-Wan team.
Yeah, this engine is called a Grim E engine or Grim engine.
Yeah, I think you told me that.
So it's based on the same engine they, I think, concocted for Grim Fandango. But I've never heard any complaints about Grim Fandango being this impossible beast to navigate.
That's
it's
almost
rather
like
high,
a
it's
fan
rather
favorite.
Yeah, it's rather highly rated, but I haven't sank my teeth into it just yet. I have it on my good old games. In my good old games library, because these games are often always often on sale, or even always on sale. Georgie. Yeah. iMuse was this sort of interactive music system that switched seamlessly between screens from starting in the second game. So that's what that's called. But
there's no subtitles, but Guybrush is talking.
Is it like, guys?
He's calling out names, wondering if it's a long way down. Hurry.
Yeah, you're gonna have to narrate.
Yeah, it's like he's calling out maybe crew members or maybe people involved in the production.
Like, Mr. Director.
Exactly.
Can you help me here? And I think starting from Tales from Monkey Island, speaking of TM, the term Mighty Pirate is always accompanied by a TM.
Nice.
Because Guybrush never misses an opportunity to to say that he is a mighty pirate. Always love his pose. He always like strengthen his back, and there we are. It's over.
Yep, kicks us right out.
So, okay, just to annoy you, this is all. But I wanted to summarize my thoughts because I'm a bit negative towards the game. But so because thoughts came out of me, I did write them down. So here we go. I'm not intending to play this game. I can say this much though. I enjoyed watching you play through it, and I can kind of confidently say it does remain my least favorite entry in the series. I played all of them except Return. I don't expect that to be my least favorite, to be honest.
Okay.
I do understand that adventure games had to modernize at this time and evolve, but this particular shift honestly didn't work for me. The transition to 3D wasn't an issue in itself. I had no problem with the graphics on display, and the design was rather cute. And I have no problem with old-timey 3D looking a bit pointy, looking a bit square. That's no problem. But watching you both struggle, but also master the control scheme, I realize it's still not for me. And the adventure design and exaggerated puzzle logic, watching that made the world feel overwhelming rather than inviting. And yes, earlier games in the series did strike the right balance between kooky writing, eccentric characters, and super convoluted puzzles. But I didn't mind that challenge. I didn't mind trying to dig in. But watching Escape, I think they took these elements too far. The progression felt more frustrating than fun, at least for me watching. And Monkey Combat in particular, as fun as it probably was to master it, seemed like a tedious, randomized mechanic that did no favors for the experience. I don't think we weren't used to being stuck in games that long in these games, you know. And also the bugs, when we encounter the fact that, oh shit, there are bugs. That's no good. That's no good at all. Because I don't associate Monkey Island games with game-breaking bugs. But when all was said and done, I was happy to pick it up, Stuart.
Yeah.
I have it in my library. It was released so a little bit after the other games were made available. Like Monkey 1, 2, 3, Tales were all available digitally, Steam, good old games. Escape came a little bit later. So presumably it cleared a little bit later, you know. So I got the release. I was happy to support it. I was happy to watch it being played and watch you play it and join you on the thing. I'm sure it resonated with gamers at the time, old and new. And the story is amusing. The cartoony vibe in both visuals and storytelling does fit with the series DNA to a degree. But when I compare it to the other games and the game coming up, the game coming up is way more simplified. It really is in terms of mechanics. I think they integrated humor, puzzles, and storytelling in a much more engaging way. And I think Escape struggled to find the right balance. But
yeah.
it was experimentation does come with a price sometimes. Innovation, trying to innovate, trying to change, come with a price sometimes, and that it won't please everyone. And there are elements of Escape where I think innovation doesn't click. Updating the formula doesn't click. Tales doesn't go back to having text on screen, use, push, pull, talk to, and so forth. But I think they learned a little bit of a lesson. The 9-year gap between Escape and Tales. Holy crap, Tales is already that old. I played it on release, and it feels like a new game, Stuart. Jesus Christ. Anyway, those are my thoughts. And what a pleasure to watch you play it.
No,
despite my quibbles.
Yeah, and that's it. It helps. It's definitely there's that completionist bone in me where, like, I need to see it through, see the series through, even if there is one that's dreaded. And the amount of things I've heard about Monkey Combat, and thankfully it was only 19 minutes of our life.
I would have been stuck on it for days. You found a groove, and thankfully we didn't do that live though. I think you and I would be way too self-conscious about doing that live. So Stuart put together a little condensed version of Monkey Combat on the channel.
Exactly, you kind of got the whole gist in about 45 minutes. And yeah, that's kind of all you needed to know. It's not a guide to Monkey Combat. You could find those online, but it's just this is how we got over that hurdle.
And I obviously I didn't play this, and I jumped ahead in the story by playing Tales of Monkey Island, but I didn't feel they weren't picking up where the story left off. You know, there is a gap of sorts and kind of a reset of sorts. So I never felt like, what are they talking about?
Yeah,
Gundam Monkey? What is that? You know, there wasn't a throwback of sorts. They have recurring characters. Of course, you can guess that from the beginning that favorite characters are going to pop up throughout the thing. The only thing I've forgotten about Tales, I've just replayed chapters 1 and 2. I don't know if Murray is in Tales. I think he is.
I'm sure you've mentioned, you've told me he was.
Yes, but in chapter 1 and 2, no. You see, there's a very funny bit where you see a skeleton candle. Just a random object. When Guybrush looks at it, Murray? But it isn't. It's just a skeleton candle head. So it is a Murray, like in a limbo state.
Yeah.
Having to be a candle. But I'm looking forward to watching you play Tales of Monkey Island eventually, because you're going to go into a game that in total might last 12 hours, but divided into 5 neat episodes.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this change. Well, the way that's delivered, and also seeing those games in my Steam queue. It'd be good to actually get through them.
Yeah, thankfully they weren't, £50 purchases that are looming over you like this cloud of like poorly planned financial decisions. But I'm replaying it just to refamiliarize myself with it, and I do genuinely enjoy the episode format. They were delivered, I think, like a month apart when they were released. Like a neat little release schedule. So not weekly wouldn't have made sense because it's still a few hours each of the eps. So, but yeah, here we go. Stewart has found another game.
Yes, this is going to be something that me and Tom are going to try this week. It's a new sort of, I think they call it like
is it Lager Simulator?
It is. It's called Abbey's Ale, and it's like a monastery, and you are making ale. It's kind of like a 2-dimensional. This is like a pre-recorded stream that's playing in the background, but I think.
I was thinking like you're monks, so you must adhere to religious practices and brew beer.
Yeah, and sell it in town and research new recipes. It's kind of just a little not point and click, but they called it like a cozy simulator where you have to keep everyone happy and brew beer, brew good beer.
Because alcohol, making everyone happy.
Yeah, and then you have to make beds for your people, or they'll just sleep on the floor. And the bishop wants you to make a nice light ale and things like that.
That begs the question: is there a brewery simulator out there? Considering the world of simulator games gets more expansive by the hour.
You remember the 12-hour? Yeah.
Yes, you played a thing.
Yeah, you joined me. I think we were going on to play the first Monkey Islands, but I was in the middle of playing that brewing simulator, which, again, me and Tom are supposed to be playing for the channel.
Then it is.
I think that's Amazon.
Amazon driver.
Yep. Let's just end the stream there. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been awesome. Keep an eye on the channel. Like, subscribe. Cheerio.
Grog.